All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios. That's right, casual, comfort, rustic elegance, all of that waiting for you at hatcreek.us. Hat Creek Interiors tonight on the daily broadcast. You get it on the United Supermarkets chat line, whether you're on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, on our YouTube or our Facebook pages. For Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, it's Monday. We got good, bad, and ugly recaps of the weekend. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, though. We really do. We need probably a 2-hour show. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go 2 hours tonight. Texas Tech Orange Bowl bound. Give us your 5 greatest moments in Texas Tech sports history. Where does Saturday rank? Where does winning the Big 12 championship rank in the greatest moments of Texas Tech sports history? Men's basketball crushing LSU yesterday. That was the team we'd kind of been waiting to see show up. And then the Bowls are dead, right? If we can thank Notre Dame for anything, thank you, Notre Dame, for helping kill off the Bowls. And Kansas State and Iowa State. They shouldn't be fined $500,000 for not going to bowls. They should be given $500,000 to get rid of the bowl games. Anything and everything else on your mind from the college football playoffs, seedings, who got screwed, what do you care? Do you like the matchup? Texas Tech waits on Oregon and a dead president to make it all happen. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. That's where you start your day every day. Tell you what we're thinking. We give you the Raiderland hot links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker out of Post, Texas. Generation Strongs, the best in the business. Do they do meat processing for you? Yeah. Do they have awesome cheeses? Yeah. Can you order on their website no matter where you live? Yeah. Check them out. Jackson Brothers Meat Locker and Post. Also brought to you by Gators Bayou in Lubbock, Texas. Hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks. Can't make it out to the games. You can always catch them there at Gators Bayou. Let me suggest first timers, Cajun pasta. Always start off with the mild sauce. And then any of the po' boy sandwiches. And then go off from there. Find out what you like. Chaz Middleton and Son, the gold standard in farm and ranch sales and appraisals in West Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado. You get the idea. If you're looking at buying a ranch or selling some of your property or anywhere in between, you need to work with Middleton and Son. They're the best. You don't need to make any other phone calls. Go to their website, find out for yourself, check out their Facebook page. Tell them we said hey. All right, so tonight, you guys get it going on the United Supermarkets chat line, that supermarket that supports Texas Tech and West Texas. Orange Bowl bound. Now that it's settled in, do you like where Texas Tech is at 4? I still think they could have and should have gone to 3 in a normal system because they were a major conference champion. They won their title game, unlike a team that's ahead of them, but never mind. Do you like the JMU Oregon winner? What about that? Do you like, not like anything else? Basketball. Want to hear from you on basketball. I'm glad it didn't get lost in the shuffle, that actually the spotlight of Tech football being in the Metroplex yesterday transferred to men's basketball and their throttling of undefeated LSU. I think that's a good thing. And then we just talk about where, and we did this on the Rewind, brought to you by Live Life Oil Clinic of Lubbock and Dr. John Skelton. But where that moment ranks for you, all-time greatest moments in Texas Tech sports history. Top 5. I have it 3 on my list right now for the moment. I've got it 3 on my list. And those of you who know me and know my past broadcast experiences and everything probably can guess maybe at least one of the 2 that are ahead of it. Where do you rank this? Get in on that United Supermarkets chat line. Make it happen. Let us know what you're thinking tonight. If I'm not hitting on something that's important to you, you get in on the chat line. We ask you to do one more thing. Share this with everybody on the platform of your choice. On YouTube, we want 700 subscribers by the end of the week. I think we can get it. You guys can do that by hitting like, share, and inviting people in. On Facebook Live, same thing, share it. And on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, the same deal applies. You can make it happen. You know, you can do that. James gets us a rolling thumbs up. Lets us know the audio is good, the video is good. Holy cow, that's good. Who packed that? Oh, you did good. Thank you. Old Texas Tech man, SEC Big Ten fans are turds. Why? Dylan, well, Heisman finalists have been named. How we feeling? If anybody thought that Jacob Rodriguez was going to go to New York City and be one of the Heisman Trophy finalists, I guess you haven't been following college football for the last 500 years. He had no shot. He wasn't going to get there. By the way, Diego Pavia is probably going to win it right now, the Vanderbilt quarterback, after what happened in the Ohio State and Indiana game and everything else. But if any Texas Tech fans thought that Jacob Rodriguez had a chance, I find that laughable. It was a great PR campaign. It was wonderful. Texas Tech handled it great. This award goes to the quarterback on the best team. Sorry. So how are we feeling? I'm not surprised. You know? Hey, he was a finalist for the Lott Award last night. I thought that had something to do with New Mexico and Lottaburger. I thought maybe he wins the Lott Award. He gets the Lottaburger for life. That would be pretty cool. Chris, I like what McCaslin is doing with the lineup, tinkering, fine-tuning. You can kind of see it's coming together. Some players getting more healthy, some not. Josiah Mosley, still kind of waiting to see if that's a January thing or not. But what you saw yesterday with Texas Tech basketball, I thought was a more patient team in the half court, better ball movement, inside out, better looks at threes. 27 threes, still too much for me. That's still too many. But if it allowed Christian Anderson to enter the chat and Anderson to become a part of this thing now and go, oh, yeah, I forgot I was really damn good. And he was really damn good yesterday. That to me might be my number one thing out of the win yesterday for Texas Tech. Up to about 20 or so on the Hoops HD. I'd have to double check. Big movers, though. And now you've got Arkansas coming up, Duke with Northern Colorado in between. If you can split between Arkansas and Duke, you've got a lot of meat off the bone in this non-conference schedule. Chris says, I would put it at 3. 1 is the Lady Raiders. 2, the win over Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. So we're asking tonight, where does this Big 12 championship rank Saturday in your pantheon of Texas Tech all-time great sports moments? I have it 3. All right. All-time greatest Tech sports moments. Where does it rank? I would not have the win over Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. I don't have it in my top 5. Old Texas Tech man, in my lifetime, it ranks number 1. Really fascinating. James, I put Saturday just behind Tech baseball, making it to the College World Series the first time. Jeff, the college football playoff draw favors us 2 common opponents with Oregon State and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, overtime, if I remember. No, that's not right. Oklahoma State and Oregon State went over. Oregon State with comparable results. They lost by 10 to Indiana, which is comparable to us. Played them close last year. I say us by 14. I'm going to let you in on a little secret right now. If the lines came out today, Oregon would be favored by 1.5 to 2.5 points. Luckily, the lines don't come out today. Let's see. Joe says, yeah, I like the 4th spot. I feel like Texas Tech has more of a favorable path to the national championship. Jeff, 1, Lady Raiders national championship, 1993. 2, men's basketball in the Natty. 3, football Big 12 championship, subject to revision next month. Absolutely. That if you're a Texas Tech fan, you want, wherever you rank this Big 12 championship game, you want that to fall beyond the next round, and the next round, and the next round, and then everything just, I think really the world ceases to exist. I mean, seriously, if Texas Tech wins a national championship in football, right, Pale horse, man who sat on his death. Like weird stuff going to be happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seals going to be broken. We got Lake of Fire going on. I mean, get yourself to church the week before the national championship game if Texas Tech is in it, because stuff going to be happening. Robert is on our Facebook page. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Hey, YouTube's strong tonight. YouTube has been kicking butt lately. Twitter is great on the replay. I don't know what the hell's going on live with our Twitter people. I really don't. And then Facebook is right there with them. True or false, Texas Tech has changed course of football more than any other school. Slot receiver in the NFL, Welker. Quarterback, Mahomes. Young coaches, Riley, Kingsbury. And then NIL portal era. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The young coaches really haven't impacted anything with Riley or Kingsbury. They've virtually won nothing of consequence. And Kingsbury is probably going to get fired at the end of the year. The slot receiver goes back to Mike Leach. I can give you a little bit of that, the impact on that. That may be the biggest X's and O's impact that Mike Leach had, maybe on football, spreading it out, adding the slot receiver and being able to utilize that. NIL portal era, totally off the charts. Texas Tech, first ones to really understand, if not understand, embrace, not fight it. To this day, I don't know if Joey McGuire likes the portal or hates it. He may go home to his wife and say, God, I hate this. I hate all this stuff, but I like to win. I don't know. Mark, out of the basketball, Anderson and Watts, they throw the ball towards the basket. Yeah. I thought you had a better inside out delivery yesterday afternoon, that even though you took 27 threes, I thought most of the threes were more in a natural flow of the offense, not forced, and pretty good looks. And obviously they knocked them down, particularly Anderson. And no, you didn't have to depend on Toppin, JT Toppin, for his scoring. He had 11 and 15, double-double. I mean, that yesterday against LSU, undefeated LSU at the time, was much more akin to what I thought we were going to see a couple of weeks ago. And if you'd seen that team against Purdue, I'm not saying you beat them. By the way, Purdue got the hell beat out of them this weekend, dropped to 6. I'm not saying you beat them. It would have been a much more competitive game. But 27 threes is still too many for me. I think the sweet spot in any game is 18 to 22. And this is based on percentages, long runouts, what you give up on the other side. And if you're a great three-point shooting team, the percentage that you've got to hit to be more effective after about 22 or 23 three-pointers is ridiculous. And you're not going to do it every night. Jeff, Lime Scooters will go out of business if we win the national championship. If the playoff is only 4 teams this year, does Tech get left out? I think so, said Jeff. I haven't contemplated that. That's a wonderful question. Who would it have been if not Tech in the Big 12? I think it still would have been Tech. Now, if the Big 12, if Tech had lost the Big 12 title game, the Big 12 would have been left out. But a one-loss title-winning Big 12 team with Tech's resume, they would have got in with 4. I think it would have been exactly what you saw. His name is Kevin. He's on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Feel like this is this recent uptick in Tech football started with Mahomes, especially after he left Tech. He's been a great ambassador. Well, didn't help Wells, obviously. Didn't help early on. I see what you're saying, but really this uptick is over the last 2 years. And Joey McGuire, Kirby Hocutt. the NIL characters and everything else, embracing a new world order in college sports and college football. Now, Mahomes ain't hurt nothing. Don't take it wrong, Kevin. Mahomes hadn't hurt it. Texas Tech has used him and used him greatly, and he has not used Tech, but he has leveraged Tech with what he does, and that's been a great relationship. It certainly hadn't hurt anything. But if there's no NIL, if there's no portal, Mahomes' impact is about the same as Zach Thomas. James, I wish the Orange Bowl was still at the old Joe Robbie Stadium. No, you wish it was at the Orange Bowl. You wish it was the Orange Bowl with the horrible turf, and it was in a horrible part of town, the Orange Bowl Stadium. That's what you want. You don't want the old Joe Robbie. You want the old Orange Bowl Stadium. Bob Greasy, Larry Zonka, Mercury Morris, Jim Kick, the no-name defense. Jesse Powell, Spur, Texas, Super Bowl champion winner. Now you want the old Orange Bowls. You want Flipper down there in the end zone, just jumping out of a freaking pool. I said this last night to some people, yesterday to some people, and again today, that this is how much it has changed in college football and for Texas Tech fans in the last 5 to 10 years. That yesterday afternoon, Texas Tech fans were legitimately voicing displeasure and disappointment at being in the Orange Bowl. Let that sink in for a little bit for those of you who lived through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. That fans go, the freaking Orange Bowl? God. Disappointed they didn't get the Cotton Bowl, but just the idea that if you had told me in 1989, when I first started covering Texas Tech as a credentialed member of the media, hey, Tech's going to the Orange Bowl. We're like, yeah, I'll sell my left nut to go to that thing. And fans are like, Orange Bowl. That's a good thing, by the way. What I just said is a good thing. But it is still amazing to me. And I'm not saying fans are wrong to be disappointed. Don Williams, and it was lost in the shuffle of Saturday. I get fans not getting it or understanding it, but the whole selection process and everything else, Texas Tech had to be number 3 in the college football playoff rankings to be able to go to the Cotton Bowl. I know a lot of fans, and if I contributed to that wrongly, I apologize. But under the rules and auspices of the college football playoff, Tech had to be 3 to get to the Cotton Bowl. I agree it'd be awesome if they were going back to Jerry World and all that stuff. But I felt bad yesterday because when, Don was re-pointing that out early yesterday, I was like, I don't think I did a good job in saying you got to be 3. And I also was adamant that I was adamant for weeks that I thought Texas Tech would end up in that 3 spot. Here's what I didn't count on. A Big Ten game, a Big Ten title game where nobody really looked good and just one team won. I was thinking that Ohio State would probably win that thing and win it by a couple of touchdowns, and that would move Texas Tech up, that would allow them to drop the Big Ten loser to 4, Tech to 3, SEC team goes to 2. I didn't think Alabama was going to beat Georgia at any time. So when it wasn't so much the upset in that game, it was that it was close and there was no daylight between Indiana and Ohio State that kept Tech from moving up. At the end of the day, though, do you like the Tech James Madison Oregon winner? You tell me. Getting on the United Supermarkets chat line will go as long as the conversation is good tonight. Here on the daily broadcast in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, the showroom is 10101 South Slide Road in Lubbock, Texas. Hello, Merry Christmas to you. Go in and get some great Western style furniture. Guys, take your wife out there and say, what about this for a sofa? Or imagine this for our new dining room. Look at that table there. Oh no, the moose is optional. You don't have to have the moose on. It's elk actually. Gators Bayou 98th and Slide Road in Lubbock, Texas. Hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks, all the games on TV, everything you can imagine. And then Middleton and Son and realty and appraisals, farm and ranch sales. Nobody does it better. You guys know they brokered the deal for the 4.6s, by the way, with Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, they're that good. And everybody gets in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Top 5 moments, Texas Tech sports history. What do you got? Men's basketball crushing LSU 58-82. Texas Tech wins. GBUs, if you want to get into it. And more this week, maybe because we only got a few minutes, but the Bulls are dead. Thank God. I'm so happy. I don't blame Notre Dame. I don't blame Kansas State and Iowa State should get $500,000, not be fined $500,000. Get rid of the Bulls. We'll do more on that tomorrow. All right, JCTT. Oregon opponents have 45, P5 wins, Tech's 48, Tech 32 point differential, Oregon 32. Don't listen to ESPN stats. I don't listen to ESPN stats. I listen to EPA and DVOA. All right. The biggest stats I pay attention to are DVOA and EPA. Anything else I don't really care about. And based on that, in those two stats, Oregon, slightly better offense. The red zone foibles for Tech kill them on some of those metrics. Tech defense well ahead of Oregon, and just everybody else in the country. So you've got to go, okay, Tech defense has to make up for offensive problems in the red zone. Can they get that cleaned up? If Texas Tech cleans up in the red zone and gets better, they win a national championship probably. Meanwhile, Jeff, I think A&M gets in instead of us. No, they don't get in. Nope, they wouldn't have got in. If it was for the Big 12 champion, one loss, wins the Big 12 championship game, they're in. Sorry, A&M doesn't get in. Robert, love the potential draw of Oregon to Bama, the Ohio State University of Georgia. The Final Four basketball run went through a who's who in Michigan, Gonzaga and Michigan State. Just took care of the whole state of Michigan. Man, oh man, that's like over a half decade ago now, and that's getting farther away, and it kind of sucks. It seems like yesterday. Chris, hey, you never know. The father of the Constitution just might pull off the upset against Oregon. Yeah, maybe. Don't think so. He's the fake Natalie Maines. Or is he? How do we know he's not? The real Natalie Maines, who enjoys hanging out on sports broadcast. Acting like the fake Natalie Maines on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Hyatt, first-time listener, long-time texter. It's hard to be choosy, but if Bama or Ohio State didn't lay an egg, it would have been nice to be cotton-picking Red Raiders. Now, Ags, sorry. Got a lot of stuff going on here. We got to go through this. It would have been nice to be cotton picking Red Raiders. Now the Ags have a great opportunity to turn Jerry World and Kyle Field North. If, and I mean big if they win their playoff game, we need to deal with bowls, except every game is a home game for the higher seed, except for the Natty. What a novel idea, just so you know, love you. All right, so next year it goes to 16. No, is it official? No, it's going to 16. So all the first rounds will be on campus. That's a good start. Mercury Morris in the Orange Bowl, the pride of West Texas State, not A&M, West Texas State. Mercury Morris, number 22. Expanded 16 teams, only P4. You guys know my thoughts. 64-team league, 32 on each side of the Mississippi, whatever. The divisions with 8 teams, you play it off just like the NFL. It's a strict criteria how you get into the playoffs. You got to win it. You do that. It's regionalized, and off we go. It's fun. It's good. Jeff, let the G5 have their own playoff in all non-January bowl games. Yeah, I don't care about the bowl games, but yeah, they should be able to play to their own championship, just like we did with 1AA for years and 3A and whatever else, and it works. It's okay. It's good. Ooh, JC Double T about to get Orange and Fiesta in same year. Yeah. Rose Bowl would be easier to fly to. I don't know. Lubbock to LA, what is that, Southwest? Depends on where you're flying from, I guess. Totally. Joe, super excited about Texas Tech. It's my man Joe. This is my cousin Joe. Cousin Joe out there in the wilds of Alabama, chasing down wild milk cows. I know a few of them. Hope we can get together and have a watch party. Get them together, just even people you don't know. Stop them on the street. Let them know you're proselytizing and tell them about the greatness and the truth that is Texas Tech football. And you want to see a good team, you watch this. But don't get arrested, Joe. Chris on Facebook. I'm fine with the Orange Bowl. It just grinds my gears. A&M has a chance to play in the Cotton Bowl. And again, it had nothing to do with anything other than Tech had to be seeded third to go to the Cotton Bowl. The Cotton Bowl didn't not take Tech. It's just the way it worked out. If Alabama would have taken care of business, Texas Tech could have been 3. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I don't even want to enter into the equation of what would have happened. If Alabama could have run the football, would have been better. Don't think Alabama should even be in the structure of the playoffs as a 3-loss team. Did Ohio State play not to lose rather than win? No. Ryan Day coaches Ohio State, and that's how they look in those type games. Mark, yes, I do like the JM and Oregon winner. Yes, I do. I do. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're getting there. We're hanging in there. You guys get on the United Supermarkets chat line. On YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, thank you. We want 700 subscribers by the end of the night. I used to say week. Let's do end of the night. Share it, invite people in. Tech and Indiana are the most complete teams. College football playoff. Both have a top 10 offense, top 3 scoring defense. And we've got pretty much all the top 4, 5, 6 teams. You give me the metric, I can make them a top 10, top 5 team in anything. Indiana, still not sold completely offensively on that, but we'll see. Ohio State defense, great. Ohio State offense didn't, show me something on that. I think Georgia still, to me, I hate to say it, but Georgia still, to me, I think is the balanced team that can get there. It's more Georgia to me. Texas Tech, I think, has the best defense. Randy Wade. Indiana, Ohio State looked quite spare. He said dropping some P1 lingo on you. Why was there such a love affair with Ohio State all year? Won the national championship last year. They're in the Big Ten. They're Ohio State. Let's talk about Oregon. I watched them play UW, and it was very close. Score didn't show what actually happened in the game. Oregon can have a very explosive passing game, pretty good running game. Their offensive metrics are better than Texas Tech's. The Texas Tech metrics are drawn down by the red zone problems. That I think Texas Tech, when it comes to red zone touchdown opportunities right now, about 101 in the country. Your red zone points, your red zone scores are great, but your red zones are field goals, and that's why they talk about the no stone zone. And it was the stone zone again on Saturday. That's the deal. And when we talk about these things, we're not talking about Tech playing, Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Kansas. You're talking about Texas Tech in the context of the 4 best teams in the country. And what are the differences? Well, that's a big difference. Red zone TD productivity is a big difference. And that's why right now Oregon would, if you line them up today and you put them on a tote board, Oregon would be favored by about 2 points, 2.5 points, I'm thinking. Chris, the non-playoff bowls, football version of the NIT. No, it's the Pro Bowl. It's the Pro Bowl. It's not even the NIT. It's the Pro Bowl. And we finally killed the Pro Bowl, and hopefully we're killing the non-playoff bowls. Mark, Tech basketball beating number 2 SMU in bubble in 08. Tech beating Texas Lady Raiders winning national championship 2008. Those are your top three? Fascinating. The baseline jumper by the Red Raiders over number 2 SMU, who would have gone to number 1 because number 1 Georgetown in 1984 had lost earlier in the night. And then Mark, Tech baseball team making it to the College World Series. Tech men making the final game in basketball. We're talking top 5 moments in Texas Tech sports history. I'll go through a few more comments before we get out of here. Dan, my man on YouTube. Number 1, 2019 Final Four win over Michigan State. 2, 25 Big 12 football championship. 3, 93 Lady Raiders. 4, first College World Series win over Florida. 5, 2019 men's national track and field championships. Don't forget the field. JC, could a few bowls host play-in rounds? If not, they host non-conference early season matchups. Don't care, get rid of them. Bowl games are welfare. You got to understand where bowl games come from. Bowl games were born out of the Depression, other than the Rose Bowl for the most part. But most of the bowls that you know today, the Cotton Bowl and everything, it was born out of the Depression, out of civic pride and trying to do anything to generate any economic activity in the 1930s to get people to come to any city, anywhere, and watch a football game and spend money and buy hot dogs and big orange drinks. I hate welfare. Joe agrees. To what? I'm not sure, but I hope he agrees. Jeff, Joey's right. The calendar needs to be fixed. Start a week or two earlier. Wrap it up before the second semester starts. Hold on. Didn't hit the button. Yes. Ain't going to happen. But yes. Timbo, I caught myself before I complained about the freaking Orange Bowl. Good call. The freaking Orange Bowl. We're in the freaking Orange Bowl? Football bracket wise, JC Double T, I like where Tech is a lot. I'm with you. I think all things being equal, I like where it's breaking out. Shout out to Groover for making the state semifinals. High school in December is a privilege. High school football in December is a privilege. Anytime, we say this all the time, anytime your cheerleaders are wearing the little Santa hats, and like a little Christmas costume, rock on. Your school's doing good. Sorry, football. Yeah, we got what you wanted. All right, real quick. Top 5 greatest moments in Texas Tech sports history. Lady Raiders national title 1993. First ever. If you weren't around old enough to remember it, experience or otherwise, I get it. I understand why you don't understand why that was such a watershed moment for Texas Tech, West Texas, and Texas Tech athletics. I get it if it's not on your number 1. I do understand. Number 2, Final Four Texas Tech men's basketball. 60 seconds of possession away for national championship. Doesn't get much better than that, biggest stage. Number 3, what you saw Saturday, Texas Tech winning the Big 12 championship in the championship game there in Arlington. That's number 3. Number 4, all the track titles ever by Coach Kitley. Any and all track titles. Finally, number 5, the first Texas Tech win in Omaha. Beating Florida in Omaha for the first win in Omaha, that win. You got there, you didn't win. You got there, you won that game, watershed moment. There's the top 5. All of these subject to revision over the next few weeks, especially on number 3 with Tech football, Big 12 title. All right, you guys are the best. I want you guys to share this, invite your friends, and let them know what we do every night at 6:30 Central on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. We'll have it on the website at theraiderland.com. Here in a little bit, you can share it from there. Tomorrow, Tuesday's best, we'll give you a topic, 2 best examples. What you got for us? Do that. We'll have the Raiderland Hot Links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas, USA. If you've not been there and you're local, drive down, tell them hi. If you don't live around here, they ship to you. They're in Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. All right, we got to get out of here. I have no idea what we're going to do tonight. Oh, yeah, we got football and stuff. Monday Night Football. See you tomorrow. TheRaiderland.com.